दरबा साहब के पास में। स्वागत है आपका, नमस्कार। अनम्यूट कीजिए तो। यू आर म्यूटेड।
Yes, yes. Namaskar.
नमस्कार।
Yeah. These are also once again reinforcement of the grandeur of the supreme consciousness or the Bhagavan or the Lord. As my previous senior panelists have deliberated on the philosophical aspect of it, as usual, I would like to focus on the simple day-to-day practical understanding, how we can interpret while that being that. So, how do we understand? We need to, that's why he is repeatedly, in fact, Arjuna also had this kind of a portrayal as a simple tongue who is full of doubts, who is full of ignorance, uh, and yeah, and also he is responsible and duty bound to do a mega project or a massive work which would liberate which would establish the dharma over the adharma. So, in order to reinforce his unflinching loyalty and then the unwavering faith, uh, he is revealing to by himself. That's what in several means repeatedly. Whether he says Bijam Sarabhutanam, I am the seed energy, or Sanatanam or Jivanam Sarvabhuteshu, when he says, so don't think just me as a brother-in-law, just to understand the supreme consciousness. So it is all in me, but I am not in them. That's what he is trying to reinforce in these 9 to 13 and more earlier also, and then in the coming shlokas also. Unless he creates that kind of an empirical evidence, the human beings are not susceptible to have faith or belief in then either in themselves or on a supreme power. Because Balam Balavatam, that's what he's saying, whatever strength that some of these Rajas, Maharajas and emperors, CEOs, managing directors and business tycoons, whoever rich and famous, whoever they think that they are the most strengthy, wealthy and resplendent and powerful, they think, please realize that there is something which is above, whether you call it destiny or a sub-Chaitanyamaya manifestation of the entire materialistic moving world. There is something which is moving centrally, like Yantra Rudhani Maya, that's what he says. While it is there, all that is fine, sir, but how do I emulate that? And then what is that I understand? Okay, I understand God is great, God is in heaven somewhere else. But why should I understand that universal form? That may be the question that many people, and especially the agnostics or the atheists, and then even the rationals and seculars, may repeatedly get that. For all of them, he is answering. So please realize that it is otherwise. How are these things? This such an inscrutable design of the moving world, whatever world that we are seeing, the universe. How is it moving? You know, some shakti, some power should be moving all of them. By realizing that, we will understand the limitation of our ahankara, or otherwise, with these materialistic riches and then fame only, people are creating such a vinash of the world. They think no end of themselves, whether it was Hitler or Alexander or somebody else, even today, the politicians or the whoever, you know, they think no end of themselves. So by understanding there is a grand design, there is a grandeur power behind all this, the human being will tend to be humble. They learn to be humble, and their limitation in the galaxies and the nebulae, and then Koti Koti Brahmanda, and when we call Bhagavan as the Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayak. So once we accept and then we repose our faith and surrender ourselves, that will give us the same power. That's what he seems to be saying. So, but he repeatedly saying, while he is saying, I am in, I am that, I am this, I am that, I am in that, and the whole thing is in me. I am in everything. But he is also there saying that all that is in me, but I am not in them. Sir, how is it possible? So he says, that means like electricity only. Electricity is running through all implements. But there is the Bhagavan himself has a power, has given an earthing, so that even if you touch a fan or a light or something, you will not get a shock, but you tend to get it, you get to use the power behind it, and then you can do several things by utilizing judiciously and intelligently that power to your own Shreyas and then welfare. That's what he seems to be saying. In the but then why is it people are not able to realize? It is because of the avidya and then the maya, because it is covered by the maya, the delusion of the maya. So whoever is understanding the limitation of himself, the grandeur of the God, and the interplay of the maya superimposed upon this materialistic world, and the root cause which is moving, and the impermanence of this materialistic world, and the existence of a sentient and an ethereal world, and possibility of such an understanding that we are nothing but the same supreme human, super divine consciousness which currently experiencing the human form, that is also because of our previous karmas. And human beings other than other jivarasi is endowed and bestowed with the buddhi, the intellect. And hence he is also saying that the buddhi, tejas also he talked about. Coming to the other aspects of kama and then the raga, and the fine difference between the kama raga, and why did he say that kama raga vivarjitam? Because in another place he says that to answer that all are in me but I am not in them, he says Padmapatram Ivambhasa, that is the beautiful drishtanta and then the empirical evidence that he has given. When a lotus leaf can exist in the middle of a lake and then the mud and the water and without being touched, that's how he is, and that's how we can also be. Because that is the question that we keep getting that how is it possible, sir? Karma Yoga says that Nishkam Karma Karo and all. इसके बारे में I think in the second round
Right.
probably we can